Well, hello and good evening. It's Tuesday. It is Block of the Month Tuesday and month 3 in March. So tonight we are going to be making the third block, which is the Bauble, just here. So let's see who's going to join me tonight. I hope you're all well. Obviously, I won't be able to see any comments. Let me just, there we go. Let's just turn down the lighting. That's better. And we'll have a look to see who is here this evening. There we go. In here. Lovely, we are here. And fantastic. So, oh yes, lots of you saying hello. Hello Pauline, hello Marilyn, hello Jill, hello Liz. I'm upstairs tonight because it's cold again, isn't it? Hello Shirley, hello Amanda, hello Gita, Pippa, Jill and John, hi John, Bev and Jan and Vanessa, Virginia and Tony and Leslie. Oh, it is good to be here, isn't it? Not perfect yet, but getting there. The cough has subsided, but I'm not saying I won't cough tonight. But it's a long old haul. It'll be 2 weeks on Friday, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long, but it's long enough. So, hello Maria and Christine and Caroline and Wendy and Diane and Dorothy and Margot and Jane and Elaine and Gita. Well. So, what have I been doing today? I've been doing this block, actually, and it was rather nice. I haven't put the PDF in the group yet, but it will be going in as soon as I've finished, because it was in my mind about 5:45, and then it didn't happen. So I have done it with instructions for you. Tonight we were going to have a sleepover with the boys, but they're sleeping at home tonight instead and coming in the morning. So I need an early night so that I'm ready for an early start. So, Janet, I've just seen your comment there. Let's have a look. Hi Sandra and hello Janet. So glad to see you looking so chipper. I'm feeling a lot more chipper, thank you. Has Martin been waiting on you hand, foot and finger? That will be a big fat no then, won't it? Don't let me have to come. You'll have to come down here. Honestly, I tell you. You see, the problem is that Martin had his pacemaker. Well, it was the battery change, but basically it was a whole new pacemaker popped in him. So he hasn't been able to do anything. He is progressing well, but he's unable to lift anything heavy. A washing basket is heavy. He can't hear me, but I have to carry the washing basket downstairs, and then I have to carry it upstairs, and I have to hang the washing on the line because we can't raise our left arm above normal height. So the driving is still at a nil, a 0. He can't drive. So basically, no, I haven't been weighted on hand and foot. He did tell me yesterday that I am the only person who cares about me. And I said, well, I've got all these lovely ladies who care about me. But he believes that, so I'm not moaning, but boy, sometimes they milk it, I would say. So that's your answer, Janet. No. Good evening, Jen and Alison and Linda and Marion. Thank you, Janet. You're on your way. Brilliant. Hello, Marilyn. Oh, good. Oh, you got your... Yes, you won last month's giveaway, didn't you? and it was Virginia who won last night. So as I replied to her email today, it is lovely. I mean, obviously, when I do it on the So Totally Trisha page, it is open to everybody. But how I do love it when it's somebody from the group who wins, who supports so wonderfully. And I appreciate each and every one of you for the support you give me. And so for me, my heart rises when I see a name that I know. So that is absolutely lovely. And I'm glad you both won. Everybody will be in for another one. So you're ready there for the next giveaway. He must feel like he's had his right arm chopped off. Yes, well, to a degree. He can do certain things he wants to do, but other things not. Oh, you're welcome, Virginia. Hello, Judith. And hello, Janet. Janet hopes we're all well. Hello, Barbara. Yes. Well, you know, you have to keep cracking on, don't you? I mean, if I didn't do anything whilst I wasn't feeling well, I'd probably be a month or so. But, you know, as you start to feel better, do it gradually. And I can't leave all you lovely people hanging there with nothing to do. Not that there's nothing to do. So, as you've probably seen, probably over the weekend, when I wasn't really up to doing much at all, I've been downloading a lot of videos and uploading them to YouTube. So I hope you found them, because I'm really grateful that my subscribers have gone up, probably by about 300 people in just this last week. The amount of views has gone up. I was saying there's a particular criteria that I have to meet. You know, you can earn a little bit from people viewing your YouTube channel. And I have plenty of subscribers because there's almost, I think there's 5,400-ish now. And I only need 500. But the amount of viewing hours, I need 3,000. And it has jumped up from about 700 to 900. So we're getting there. So that is all down to you, all you people watching those videos on YouTube. And you'll notice I have put all the bags from the beginning of Sew with Trisha on YouTube now. The 23 and 24 are all open to the public, but I have put this year's ones not for public to view. It will purely be the people in this group. And so every time I have uploaded it to YouTube, I have also put a link, which all you have to do is click on it. You don't have to type it out, just the link to click on, and it will take you directly to the YouTube for you to watch. So, yeah, I'll thank you very much for that. So let's have a look who else has joined me. Oh, there's Sue. Yes. Hello, Sue. Lovely to see you. And Christine and Jane, your hubby's very selective in hearing and yes. You have a rest, so to say. Yes. I know. Exactly. We still love him to bits, but, you know, sometimes it's like, I didn't ask today, but when he said, could you possibly take the washing basket upstairs? And I thought, you know, my back's been twinging. My back hurts, but never mind. I was going to ask why he's unable to carry it upstairs, but I didn't. I didn't want to hear what was coming next, so I'll find out one day. Good evening, Pollyann. I don't feel young anymore. I'm having my hair done next week because it is an absolute mess, so hopefully I'll feel better with that then. Hello, Elaine. Oh, fantastic, Caroline. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Raina. Oh, Janet says, we love you, Trisha. Oh, yes, we do. No matter where you go, we'll follow. Oh, bless you. And if you leave us, we're blue. Oh, Trisha, we... That's lovely. You've made me laugh. Sorry, I have to have a cough now. But believe you me, it is getting better. Yes, thank you, Jack. And yes, I have been busy. And now Virginia's singing it, can't get the tune out of your head. Hello, Sue. That's right, Sue. In the videos, it comes up unlisted, and that's because it's not open to the public. But what will be easier in a year's time, when this year has ended, I can then make them public and start doing the 26 ones unlisted as well. So that's why I did it rather than put it into a private group, because then you would have to enroll to it and it's a lot more work as well. So that's why I decided on that. Yes, Pauline, it does take a while, but I know what I'm doing with that now. And what was going through my mind as well, I am going to do YouTube Live, but I'll let you know in advance, and we'll do something on YouTube Live to see how that goes. Okay, so on Thursday, now was it yesterday morning, I had 3 big boxes, and we have lots more fabric has arrived. Some more Adidas sitar, and boy, it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Rather than being all blue, from what I remembered, I thought it was going to be a lot of blue. Yes, there is some blue. There's some deep, almost tealy blue, and some lighter blue, and there's some reds, which are delicious, going through to a deep, what would I say, salmony, pinky, russety, and then some creams, so they all pull together, and it's lovely. So I'm going to show you those on Thursday, and I shall put some little kits together for the following week to offer up to you then, because we've only just, the Bluebird Thrifty Thursday went out yesterday, so that's all gone and on its way to you. So I've got to give you a little break. Some people have been receiving, and a lot of you have been receiving fabric parcels practically one a week, if not more. So shall we get on with making our block? So I'm just going to take this down for a minute. Nice and easy, actually. But here is our Bauble block. And I'm quite pleased with it. I think it looks very, very nice. And what you'll perhaps notice, I've got Christmas fabrics coming, but they won't be here until, June, July time. So you'll still be able to make these blocks with those, and the fabrics I've ordered are traditional, so they will actually blend with any Christmas fabrics you already have. So I've used a poinsettia fabric, but I've actually fussy cut that centre one so that I've got a bit of red there, so it shows up against my creamy background. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make tonight. So let's just pop it back up here. There it sits so that you can see it. And I'm going to have to take the pad off and point it down so that you can see properly what we're going to be making. So bear with one moment. So there we go. And then I shall turn the camera around, whiz, so that we can see. And let's hope I don't drop the iPad. So let's get that down to our, there we go. Right, hopefully I'm going to be using my mat. Yes, that will be fine. Okay, let's just leave that down there. So what are we going to need? That's it. I can see with my phone as to what you're seeing. Yes, that's what I thought, a fussy cut. Pippa says, following the Sunday workshop, you feel brave enough to have a go at these blocks now. Fantastic, Pippa, because with what you know from Sunday, you'll be able to do the very first block, or very first block we're going to do. So, oh my goodness, have I lost some fabric? Oh, I have. I picked it all up very, very carefully. Oh, for goodness sake, For goodness sake, Trisha, I have lost a bit. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. What you're going to need, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to have to run it downstairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and get a couple of pieces where I'll have to look on the floor as I go because it's gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm back. I had all this prepared by 2 o'clock and then I left it. That's better. So we've got fabrics 1 and 2 and background. So fabric 1, we will need 4 2.5-inch squares. Fabric 2, this is for half square triangles. We will need 2 3-inch squares and 2 background squares. And where I fussy cut, the 2.5-inch square as well. Oh, yes, I am sorry. So then we will need, here we are, of our background, we will need 2 1.5-inch wide strips by 6.5. We will need 1 which is 1.5 by 8.5. And then for the bit which has the little hanger on, we want 2 1.5-inch wide strips, which are 4 inches long, plus a 1.5-inch square, which is the hanger. So let's pop these out of the way. I'll pop them up there. And then hopefully, oh my goodness. Right, then hopefully we won't lose them. So I am going to, first of all, I'm going to make our half square triangle. So Pippa, here we are. So I have to look on the back of this because they both look exactly the same. That's it. There we are. So on the reverse of our background, we are going to draw a diagonal line. So let's just pop this down here and just the one diagonal. So as I always say, start from the middle and just do a line backwards and forwards. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, right from the very tip. So if you start drawing in the middle and just backwards and forwards to give yourself two nice diagonals. And now I'm just going to have to blow my nose. Right. Okay. So with our background square, 3-inch squares, plus the fabric 2, we're going to lay those exactly on top of each other, both of them. So just line those up. This is where we see how good my cutting is. But because we're going to trim these, we will then be able to get them to the exact measurement. So, there we go. So, we will use a 1/4 inch seam. We will drop our stitch length down to 1.8, and we are going to stitch a 1/4 inch to both sides of our diagonal line. There we go. Now, because I've got 2 of them, we'll do a bit of chain piecing. I'm going to put the next one under, so very slowly while it's stitching into thin air, and all the way down to the bottom, and cut. And then I'll take it back, swivel it round and come back down the other side, and down we go exactly the same, and carry on nice and slowly, because the machine doesn't like to stitch into thin air. On the other hand, an overlocker loves that. Okay, so now you can either use rotary cutter. I'm just clipping them apart, and I am going to cut on that drawn line. Okay, so just on that drawn line. Now I know most of you have got the easy half square triangle rulers. Let's just pop these all the same way. So they are on the website if you haven't, but I absolutely swear by these. Here it is. And the first one I'm going to, or the one I'm going to use, is my one with the halves on the end. So for this particular block, we will be using the 2.5 inch line, the dashed line there. I'm sorry. Oh. And just caught the throat there. So we will look for the 2.5 inch dashed line. Excuse me. Right, let's just move this in here. So I'm putting the 2.5 inch line there onto my stitching, and with my rotary cutter, trim down both sides into the little notch. We'll go that way out. And there we have our trimmed half square triangle. Number 1. And number 2, I do apologise. Let's just move that along and then trim those 2 sides. in with there, and we can out there. Number 2, number 3, trim to one side. I'm just holding that firmly down so that that trims off. Cover that blade, and then the 4th one, 2.5 inch dashed line onto my stitching. It's not wonderful in this light. Trim down there. Whoops, that just moved a little bit. There we go. And there. So now what I should have is 4 perfect half square triangles, which are 2.5 inches square. So let's just turn the iron on and get my little mat. And if we have the dark fabric facing up, that means that the seam will be under the dark side. So we will take one at a time, and all we need to do, set the seam, open it up, and press that. There we have a beautiful 2.5 inch half square triangle. So again, we will just, oh, I don't want steam. So let's turn that off. Don't need steam with a wool pressing mat. So just number 2, set the seam and press, and number 4, set the seam and press. Okay, so we've done the hard bit. I'll tell you what we'll actually do at this point. This is at the end in the instructions, but we'll make one of our borders. There we are. So the border for the top where the hanger is 2 pieces which are 4 inches long and a 1.5 inch square. So all we need to do is place our 1.5 inch square onto, let's just go under there, onto like the centre of the 1.5 inch wide strip, and we will stitch down. I will press that in a minute, but we can fold that back, open it out, and then we'll put the other strip onto the other side. And this will give us an 8.5 inch long strip for the top border. And then we've got everything made up beautifully. As we're on this side, I will just give that a little press so it's ready to use. There we go. Okay, and I'll show you how we press when we come to it. So there is our strip ready for our top border. So what do we do now? We want to make the main part of the bauble. So the background squares need to be in the corners because that surrounds the bauble. So we pop our half square triangles in each of the 4 points. Then we put our 2.5 inch squares in our fabric 1 in between each of these. So these are the in between around the edge. And then if you are going to fussy cut, there's that one, 2.5 inches square for the middle. Nice and easy. And all we're going to do is join this as a 9 patch. Okay, so we'll use what I call now the spider web method, which is joining it all so that we don't, or we eliminate any risk of putting things the wrong way round. So what we do is we take this centre column, Just throw them all out of the way. The centre column here, we're going to pop right sides together onto this outside column, the left-hand column, like so. Okay, I'm going to move these to that side, and then I'm just going to stitch all the way down here, and I'm not going to cut the thread in between. So let's just take this one, and you'll see how they line up beautifully because we trimmed back the half square triangle. That's it, there we are. So we can pop that under the needle and stitch down. And then we can take the second one and just line those up too. And the more accurately you line them up, the better it will all fit together and be exactly the size that you want it to. And so you've noticed I haven't cut the threads in between, and I've just aligned those edges and carried on stitching. Okay, now this is the point where we do cut, and then we can take that back, and you can see they're attached to each other. I'm just going to finger press. I may not press it in that direction eventually, but I'm just going to, so that you can see. And then you can see that because they don't pull apart, you can look at your block formation again and make sure that's all right. So we'll bring back that last column, and we'll do exactly the same thing again. We're going to pop that one right sides together just there. Just line those edges up, and then we'll take this middle one right sides together just there, and then the bottom one right sides together there. And you see they do all fit perfectly. So I'm just going to move that over to the needle, and because it's a smaller block than sometimes, they're just sticking together where I lined them up, and I'm going to carry on stitching onto that second block, and then we'll carry on stitching to the third block. Okay, so we can open these out now, and that one, and that one, and we can see there, apart from it not being stitched together across the rows, that still looks exactly how it should be. So, pressing time. Let's pop it on the mat. So we'll turn it to the wrong side, like so. And on this occasion, in the instructions I have said, as we usually do, we press the seams together all in one direction, alternately. So we could press that one all that way, this one in the middle all that way, and the top one all that way. But what I do like to do with this particular block, I'm going to press these bottom ones outwards. So this side to there, this side to there, and then the centre ones come inwards to the middle. So, or did I do it the other way around? It doesn't, no, I'll press these inwards at the bottom because it's telling me it wants to go that way. So I can press those ones, and that will be the same as the top, but this middle row, because I press those towards the centre, I'm going to press each one of those to the outer, to the outsides. Let's just move that round a bit and press that over there. So those ones are going, as you can see, outwards in the centre. They're going that way. And then this top one, the same as the bottom, which is towards the middle. So just give that a little press. So let's just see if you can see that a little bit better there. So I've pressed these at the top inwards, these ones outwards, and these ones inwards. So I'm now going to flip that over, and we'll pop it back down on there. And all we need to do now is join the rows. So top row can't go anywhere, just flips down. And what you'll find is, because we've nested these seams, they will fit together beautifully. And if you want to put a pin in there to hold that seam, perfect. And then that one also just automatically, it's almost there together because we didn't cut the threads in between. So you can see how that fits perfectly across. Now I'm just going to stitch the whole way across. So still with exactly the same settings, and we'll just take the pin out just before we get there, and then I'll line that one up as well, and then across to the next pin and take that out just beforehand, and across to the side. Okay, so that one can flip up. We'll press that again in a moment, but that gives us some beautiful intersections where the seams come together. So then we've got the bottom seam here, the row, place that right sides together, and this time you'll get used to it, but I'm not even going to put a pin in there because I can feel that together, and that matches up beautifully as well. So straight under the machine, I keep my finger down on that, where those seams come together, and then we'll just feel this next seam as well. I can feel that. Just press down on it and you'll feel them butt together perfectly. And then also at this end, that is also perfect. Okay, so there we have our block. Not too difficult. And as we said, especially if you did the free workshop, we did the scrappy one the other day. And what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to press these. Can you see how they're wanting to go this way? So I'm going to press this one up here. So that's the hardest bit just there, where actually the end of the half square triangle is on top of each other. And then I'll just press down there. And then once I've done that, I'll just flip that over and give that a nice press, just backwards and forwards, just to flatten that out beautifully. Okay, so there we are. We have our main bauble, but we need to add the borders. So in the end, these ones are going to come top and bottom. Just make sure there we are. Let's just measure that, make sure I cut it properly. That's right. So they are our top and bottom borders, but we need to put our side borders on first. So there are our side borders. So all we're going to do is pop these right sides together and align that edge. Now what I would say, you can, and I did earlier, pop that on the top and stitch down that side. Now what is probably better, this is just a little tip, if you flip that over so that you're actually stitching from the seam side, you'll have less chance of the seams moving up, so or flipping the wrong way. So we'll start just here, and when I come to this seam here, I'm just going to make sure, so I'm just lining up that bottom here, I'm going to make sure that that seam stays flat and not twisted. And then the same here, we'll make sure there's no intersections to join to match, so we can just stitch all the way down like that and cut. So that was our one side there, and then we want the other side here, so we can place that right sides together, but we're going to flip it over and we'll stitch from the wrong side so that those seams stay in the right place, so that they stay unflipped or twisted. So again, line up down here. You can put pins all the way down if you would like to, or just hold that with your fingers, and similarly here, because it is nice when the back looks practically as good as the front. Okay, so there are our two sides. So we can also, or we will also here, we will press these seams. So let's just set the seam, and then with the side of the iron, just force that open. Okay, and then we'll do the same with the other side. We can set the seam and the side of the iron, just press that open. Okay, just don't really want that to go wibbly wobbly down there. Okay, so there is our side seams. So the next thing we want to do is put our top and bottom. So there is our bottom, and that's 8.5 inches long, and that should fit along here. Make sure that's the right side. So again, if you want to flip it to the other side, and we can then perfectly match that end. And if we just start stitching, there we go. And we can look at this end here and just pull that towards. You probably would want to put pins along here, but as I say, I just hold my finger down on those seams so that they're staying where they should be and not twisting. So we are going to all the way down to the end. So that one is the bottom, and we'll press that shortly. And then we just want the one at the top, which is there. And that's got our little gold piece, which is like the hanger. So we can place that right sides together. And this time we've got seams on both sides. So this time I will look at the, there we are, I will look at the gold piece. So I've lined into that corner exactly there. And I will just make sure, if you press that firmly, your seams shouldn't twist, but you know, sometimes it happens. Okay, so then I'm just holding those together and stitching along there, and I'm making sure our little hanger part is still lined up and those seams are going in the right direction, and carry on along to the end. Okay, and we'll do one final press and we're done. Okay, so I'll have to put that on a bit diagonally. So we'll just set the seam, wiggle our iron, and you can see how that's come nice and straight. And then similarly with this one, we can set that seam and then press that out with the side of the iron. There we go. So there is our block. There we go. So let's pop that way round, and we have our bauble block made just as simply as that. So let us just, whoops, little jolt, sorry, turn it around, and up we go. We are here. There we go. Oops, sorry about all that movement. So we have our last block. Well, we've got two of the same one now. So there we are. There we go. As simple as that. And I can see, no, we've had no more comments the whole way through. Oh, you can see I've got warm. Look as though I've been sunbathing, don't I? But I haven't. Okay. Pippa, it is easy. And as I say, because you learned from the Sunday how to do your half square triangles. Oh, okay. That's decided that's not going to play. Let's just put that. There we go. that's it. So you've got 3 blocks ready done now. Lovely. Oh, thank you, Janet. Whoops. What's the light fabric I am using? Oh, it is the light fabric I'm using is it's a Macawa fabric, and it is called, is it called Textured? It's one that they've had for a little while. It's like the Moda one that's called Thatched, but this one is Linen Texture. That's right. Linen Texture is what it's called, and it's the cream version. So I think I have got a little bit more, but not much. How much of each block do we have to sew? How many? Just one of each. So we're going to have, because these blocks are going to be 8 inches, we are going to use the quilt as you go method. So there will be a couple of sessions during the year where, and I think it will probably next month I will do one, where we will actually put wadding to the back and quilt it and join one to the next so that you know what you're going to be doing. So when we do quilt as you go, it'll be quilting one block, all the blocks individually, so you haven't got a huge runner to actually all quilt all at the same time. So there's going to be, I think I said there's going to be 8, because they'll be 8 inches finished. And you'll have 4 8s of 32 plus the strips and border, so it would be a fairly long one, a fairly long runner as well, so that we get it all done ready for Christmas. So we'll probably be finishing in November. So only one of each, unless you particularly like the block. And it might be that you like this one, and you could do lots of baubles all in different colours, or you might like the candles. But yes, we're doing 8 blocks, that's right, because there's going to be an in-between block as well, which is going to make it that much longer. So it will be a long runner. But as I say, you choose which one and how long you want it to be, but take into consideration these will be 8 inches once they're stitched together. Okay, so not too bad. It didn't take me too long, especially having a coughing fit and having to go downstairs and get the other bits of fabric which I forgot to pick up. So I really don't think it will take you too long at all, and it works out really quite nicely with the blocks. And I'm trying to use similar colours or similar fabrics, so that might be the most fabrics I'll use. Bring some into each one so that it all coordinates well. Okay, so I don't think, oh, you're welcome, Barbara. I think my voice is going again. It better not go, really. Okay, so I think you've liked that, and I think you'll enjoy making it up. But as I said, we will go. What I might do next month is make the in-between block, because there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, either 6 or so of the in-between blocks as well. And then you've got time to make those in between time. Okay, so thank you so much. Oh dear. I'll rest my voice tomorrow so that I can come back on Thursday. We'll have a little chat about what's going on and show you some new fabrics. I can't think what I did put there now, but I put new fabric. I think I probably put new fabrics in chat. So we will, as long as my voice is still here. And then on Friday, on the So Totally Trisha page, I'm going to show you some fairly easy ways of doing different bag bottoms. It's been in my mind for a little while, but I thought, yes, we'll do that, because we always do the same way, don't we? Apart from when I do a different way. But it's nice to have 3 or 4 different ways of doing it when you come to making a bag. And I've also got another bag has sprung to mind as well, with a nice technique. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and tomorrow, let's hope it doesn't get too cold. Stay warm. Oh, thank you, Janet. Yes, he has at least made the dinner. So we have cottage pie tonight, So that will be ready and waiting for me. So yes, I do thank him for doing some things, but never mind. You take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching tonight, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.